regulates foods and drugs in Nigeria. NGLA regulates drugs and NNPC regulates oil production and exploitation. And matters like this have a central regulating body for actually dictating standards. Has more something as important as the Nigerian university system, where many, if not most, of our leaders come from. By telling me that it just acts like the foundation of a building. By telling me universities to set down Kotomak, they are asking for this foundation to be removed. The building will collapse. Come on, I want to be able to have children and tell them about the likes of Unilag, and the prestigious OAU. Universities, please do not spoil that. Also, try to think of it. University of Lagos set its own cut mark. University of Zamfara does the same. River State University does the same. Well, all the 36 states wants to set themselves apart from the others because of a cut-off mark. But wait, should we allow such to actually divide Nigeria? And then we'll be looking back and saying, oh, look, we made a really bad choice. Why don't we not change the future by what we do now? Lastly, it increases and encourages exam malpractice. Versus setting that cut mark way higher than JAMB does not help matters. I say it does not help matters because students will just go to the back door, which is exam malpractice. I mean, malpractice is a monster in our country, which we are honestly trying to curb. But by telling me that universities to set their own cut mark, you are telling me that all the government and individual efforts that have been placed to take this monster down is nothing. They are telling me that all these are invalid. In conclusion, the state of the Nigerian university system is nothing to write home about. Corruption, lack of funding, even though best brain don't get admission. University setting their own cut mark is, I would make things for that worse. Come on, I do not want that. I'm confident that I've been able to convince you with this point of mine that universities should, and I repeat, should set their own cut-off marks. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kolade Stephen. Afolabi. Well done. He's 14 years old. He's an SS1 student at CMS Grammar School, Akoka. All right, it's time for the rebuttal round. Thank you both for a wonderful first round. This time we're going to start with the motion opposer. Kolade Stephen, your 2 minutes start now.
Thank you very much, Ms. Sandra, and all the audience and all the judges for giving me this opportunity to report my opponent's point. So my opponent said something like it saves them the stress of conducting another pursuit because it manages resources. How does it manage resources? Look at it. Each university is conducting the same examination. You are telling me that each university should set down cut-off mark, meaning that it's no way managing any resource. By JAMB setting the cut-off mark uniformly from its end, we are actually reducing the burden of individual universities to actually decide their own cut-off mark. It's a burden. The university should be the one that should be focusing on doing things like funding, empowerment, and actually bettering its institution, not cracking his head over some cut-off mark. Also, he said that JAMB sets ridiculous cut-off mark. Example of University of Calabar. JAMB sets ridiculous cut-off mark. I do not think so. Because look at JAMB is an institution established by the military. It was established by the military. And therefore, it takes into consideration all factors before deciding the cut-off marks. I mean, it has millions, it has like over more than 1 million records about the marks. So how can you be telling me that it sets ridiculous marks? You also said it dashes their hopes and increases unadmittable students. I do not think so. I do not think so. In fact, it's the universities that set their cut-off mark that actually improves admittable students. Nigeria and everyone that is listening to this, ever since universities have been setting their own cut-off mark, has the admission improved? In fact, it has increased. You know what's happening right now. ASU has been on strike. Imagine all the students that should have gained admission and who haven't, all because universities are setting their cut-off mark. You said the lack space, 600,000 spaces. I really don't understand what you are saying. There's nothing like space there since JAMB has enough records to prove it. JAMB is set by the government. How can you be telling me that the government is wrong? I know that I've been able, with this point of mine, to actually rebut my opponent's points. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kolade Stephen. Well done. Kolade Stephen is 14 years old. He's in SS1 at CMS Grammar School, Akoka. Mr. Afolabi opposing that universities should set their own cutoff marks. Let's come to his opposer, who is supporting that universities should set their own cutoff marks. Your 2 minutes start now, Benita.
Thank you, Mr. Moderator. I heard my opponent saying that university sets low and ridiculous marks. I put it to you that JAMB, as of last year, set University of Maiduguri's cutoff marks to 150 to as low as 150. So please don't tell me that university sets low and ridiculous mark. I also heard you saying that universities don't have universities will make their cut-off marks high and to increases examination malpractice. See, JAMB sets the cut-off mark as a recommendation, and this is not something that is a statutory obligation to follow. You can have the cut-off mark at that exact mark or higher. So don't say that universities are going to set their marks above what students cannot achieve. These universities, the reason they set it as a high standard is so that they can encourage the students and challenge them to become greater citizens. And you also, and I also want to tell you that Alexander Graham said, educate the masses, increase their level of intelligence, and the nation will become a successful nation. It is the duty of universities to shape the students into become better citizens. So they know the kind of students that they need in the universities. So and they will be able to shape the students into becoming better citizens. Naomi King also said, not everyone's high standards should be the same. End of quote. So, my opponents, I would like to tell you that universities surely do have standards. For example, University of Ibadan was ranked among the 500 as the last year was ranked among 500 best universities in the world and first in West Africa. And this can only be, and more of this can only be achieved when the cut-off marks are set by universities.
Thank you very much, Benita. You hear the bell, you stop. You don't keep going. All right. Well done to both of you. Thank you for a wonderful debate. I always say there can only be one winner. So let's take a break. When we come back from this break, our judges will let us know who has won this round of today's debate. We have had talking to us today Benita Chidema Nwabeke. She is 14 years old. She is a year 11 student at Ikeja Senior High School. We've also had a 14-year-old SS1 student at CMS Grammar School. His name is Kolade Stephen Afolabi, and both of them have vigorously debated, very passionately debated, that universities should set their own cutoff marks. It's 20 minutes past 4. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. This is I Beg to Differ on 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let me remind you that we're streaming live on Facebook. We're also streaming on YouTube. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3, YouTube Nigeria Info FM. In November, it was Tamvita Kaushik.
Good day, honorable judges, my moderator, timekeeper, my fellow co-debater. My name is Tamvita Kaushik. I'm 13 years old.
In March, it was Ruth Okorocha.
That's the moderator, honorable educator, school debater, viewers and listeners. I'm Ruth Okorocha, bonafide student of Kingsway College.
Who will it be in May?
Due to the economic situation of our country, individuals prefer to migrate to other countries in search of greener pastures.
The I Beg to Differ debate tournament is back on May 9th.
1,862 data breaches were recorded, quadrupling the amount of data breaches in recent years.
16 new debaters.
There is lots of capital invested in the subsidized public education.
17 new debate topics.
How can you say you are punishing me and it's helping me? How? It's not a punishment.
And on Children's Day, we'll do what we usually do and end it with one winner, 1 million naira. Join me, Sandra Ezekwesili, and catch all the action Mondays to Thursdays at 4 p.m. on Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
For partnership and sponsorship opportunities, send an email to ibegtodiffer@nigeriainfo.fm. Again, ibegtodiffer@nigeriainfo.fm.
It's 4:22. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili, and the results are in. In the presentation round, Benita scored 19, Kolade scored 28. Style, Benita scored 11, Kolade scored 17. During the rebuttal round, Benita scored 11, Kolade scored 17. Rebuttal style, Benita scored 8, Kolade scored 14. With 76 to 49, the next debater making it to the I Beg to Differ quarterfinal is Afolabi Kolade Stephen Well done. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Benita, thank you so much for taking part. You did so well. And remember, of course, out of over 240 applicants, you were in the top 10%. So be proud of what you've done here today. We also have goodie bags, courtesy Nigeria Info FM, that we have given to the contestants. Kolade, we'll see you next week. We're going to send you your topics by Thursday. So look out, for those topics. Keep checking your emails.
Yes, ma'am.
Well done to both of you. Congratulations. You may leave the studio now. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Lagos will take a break. When we come back from this break, we are going to bring you our second debaters. They're right here in the studio. They just watched their colleagues debate. And so they're getting ready to do justice to their own subject as well. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili. You can keep watching on Facebook. Facebook is Nigeria Info 99.3. YouTube, Nigeria Info FM. When we come back, the Nigeria Police Force can be reformed. What do our young debaters think? They're in the studio and they're very ready to go. This is Nigeria Info 99.3. I'm Sandra Ezekwesili on social media. Don't go away.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We'll be right back.